William really doesn't want to have anything to do with him. A parent is slightly different. You know, he loves his son, but he's very hurt by what his son has done. And there doesn't seem to be any move of rapprochement. He says, yeah, he wants to see his father. He made that silly comment a few weeks ago that he doesn't know how long his father has got. I mean, you don't say things like that in public.
The story of Prince Harry and the British royal family is one of the most dramatic sagas in modern monarchy. Once celebrated as the beloved younger son of Princess Diana and King Charles, Harry's relationship with the institution that raised him has become a global spectacle, marked by pain, public revelations, and a growing chasm between him and his family. For years, Harry was the royal family's wild card, charming, relatable, and often in the headlines for his rebellious spirit. But everything changed when he met Meghan Markle. Their whirlwind romance was like a fairy tale at first, but soon, cracks began to show. The couple struggles with relentless media scrutiny, alleged racism within palace walls, and a lack of institutional support became the subject of international debate.
You know, what would look good, what would look bad, how to kind of present things. This would cause a massive headache to you if you were in the opposition.
It would cause a massive headache because you just don't roll over having been rubbished for such a long time over a wide platform. You know, Netflix has got millions of listeners. Harry Spare book sold millions. Oprah has a million viewers. To rubbish the royal family to that extent and then expect everybody to roll over and say, oh, you know, kiss and make up, you know, all is forgiven. There's an equation to this. And the other half of the equation is Mrs. Wales, Mrs. Sussex.
In 2020, Harry and Meghan made the unprecedented decision to step back from royal duties and relocate to California, seeking freedom and privacy. But instead of fading from the spotlight, their story exploded. In a series of bombshell interviews, most notably with Oprah Winfrey, Harry and Meghan laid bare their grievances, accusing the royal family of neglect, racism, and cruelty. The world watched as Harry described feeling trapped within the system, and Meghan revealed her battle with mental health and suicidal thoughts. The fallout was immediate and severe. The palace issued terse statements, vowing to address the issues privately, but the damage was done. Trust between Harry and his family, especially his brother William and father Charles, was shattered. British tabloids and royal commentators accused Harry of betraying his heritage, while supporters praised his courage in speaking out. Harry's memoir, Spare, only deepened the divide. In its pages, he recounted intimate family moments, private conversations, and even physical altercations, most notably a fight with William. The book sold millions of copies worldwide, making Harry's grievances a matter of public record. With each revelation, the royal family's image was further tarnished, and the possibility of reconciliation seemed more remote. Despite years of criticism and public airing of grievances, recent reports suggest that Harry is now seeking a way back into the royal fold. He has reached out to King Charles and William, expressing a desire to repair relationships and hoping that his children, Archie and Lilibet, might one day have the option to take on royal duties. Yet, the response from the palace has been cold and unwavering. William, in particular, is said to have drawn a firm line, showing no interest in rekindling ties with Harry or Meghan and reportedly considering revoking the royal titles of Harry's children once he becomes king. As Harry faces the consequences of his public campaign against the royals, the question remains, after years of rubbishing the family to millions, can he ever truly return? Or has the damage become too great for forgiveness? As Harry's revelations reverberated across the world, the royal family's response was measured but unmistakably distant. The palace, known for its tradition of never complain, never explain, found itself under unprecedented scrutiny. King Charles, newly ascended to the throne, faced the challenge of maintaining unity and dignity within the monarchy while dealing with the fallout from his own son's accusations. Behind closed doors, the atmosphere was tense. Insiders described a family in crisis, struggling to balance public expectations with private pain. William, once Harry's closest confidant, was reportedly devastated by the allegations and the exposure of deeply personal family moments. The brothers, who had once been inseparable, now communicated only through intermediaries, their relationship reduced to formality and silence. The Queen's passing had, for a brief moment, brought the family together in mourning. Yet even during this period of national grief, the rift was palpable. Harry and Meghan's presence at royal events was met with a mix of curiosity and discomfort, both from the public and within palace walls. Every gesture, every glance, was analyzed for signs of reconciliation or further division. In California, Harry and Meghan built a new life, but the sense of loss lingered. Harry spoke openly about missing his family and his homeland. He expressed regret over the breakdown in relationships, particularly with his brother and father. Yet, despite these admissions, he remained steadfast in his belief that speaking out was necessary for his own well-being and for the future of his children. The royal family, however, was unmoved by Harry's appeals. William, now focused on his own family and royal duties, was said to be unwilling to forgive what he saw as a betrayal. Friends of the Prince of Wales described him as resolute, determined to protect the institution and his family's legacy, even if it meant permanently distancing himself from his brother. King Charles, too, faced a difficult decision. As a father, he reportedly longed for reconciliation. But as monarch, he could not ignore the damage done to the royal family's reputation. Advisors cautioned against any public overtures, warning that appearing to roll over for Harry would set a dangerous precedent and further erode public trust in the monarchy. Royal aides were blunt in their assessment. They questioned how Harry could expect the family to simply forgive and forget after years of public criticism. They've spent years trashing everything and everyone connected with royal life, and now they're playing with the idea of their kids stepping back into it? It's laughable, one aide remarked. Despite the chilly reception, Harry continued to reach out. He reportedly extended olive branches to both his father and brother, suggesting private meetings and expressing hope for a new chapter. Yet his efforts were met with silence. The royal family, it seemed, was not ready to move on. As the months passed, the divide only grew deeper. Public opinion was sharply divided. Some sympathized with Harry's quest for autonomy and authenticity, while others saw his actions as self-serving and destructive. The media, ever hungry for royal drama, fueled the narrative of a family at war with itself. In the midst of this turmoil, Harry began to look for new opportunities to reconnect. He hinted at inviting the royal family to the 2027 Invictus Games in Birmingham, hoping that a shared cause might pave the way for dialogue. But palace insiders remained skeptical, suggesting that any path to reconciliation would come at a steep personal cost for Harry, and that the royal family was unlikely to simply forgive and forget. The stage was set for a long and uncertain road ahead. The wounds were deep, the stakes high, and the world was watching. Would Harry's persistence pay off, or would the royal family's resolve remain unbroken? Across the United Kingdom and around the world, the saga of Prince Harry and the royal family has become more than a personal dispute. It's a cultural phenomenon. Every interview, every statement, every fleeting gesture is dissected by millions. The public, once united in its adoration of Diana's sons, is now divided. Some see Harry as a truth-teller, bravely exposing the flaws of an ancient institution. Others view him as a prodigal son, unwilling to accept the responsibilities and limitations that come with royal privilege. Social media has only intensified the debate. Supporters of Harry and Meghan praise their willingness to challenge tradition and speak openly about mental health, racism, and the pressures of royal life. Critics accuse them of hypocrisy, pointing to lucrative media deals and a lifestyle that, despite their complaints, remains deeply privileged. Hashtags trend, petitions circulate, and the story never seems to fade from the headlines. The British press, long accused by Harry and Meghan of harassment and bias, continues to shape the narrative. Tabloid headlines swing between outrage and mockery, painting Harry's attempts at reconciliation as either desperate or delusional. Royal commentators speculate endlessly about secret meetings, coded messages, and the likelihood of a royal reunion. Even the most private moments are fair game for public consumption. Meanwhile, the royal family remains steadfast in its silence. Official statements are rare and carefully worded, offering little insight into the true feelings of King Charles, Prince William, or the rest of the family. Within palace walls, there is a sense that the monarchy must endure, no matter the personal cost. Tradition, duty, and continuity are the watchwords, a stark contrast to Harry's calls for openness and change. For Harry, the path forward is uncertain. He has spoken of his hopes for reconciliation, not just for himself, but for his children. He wants Archie and Lilibet to know their heritage, to have the option of a royal role if they choose. Yet the obstacles are formidable. William, as the future king, is reportedly considering stripping Harry's children of their royal titles, a move that would cement the family's break and signal a new era of royal discipline. Despite the odds, Harry continues to reach out. He has suggested that the Invictus Games in Birmingham in 2027 could be a turning point, a chance for the family to come together around a cause that transcends personal grievances. Whether this hope is realistic or simply wishful thinking remains to be seen. Royal experts are divided. Some believe that time and shared tragedy could eventually heal the rift. Others argue that the wounds are too deep, the betrayals too public, and the stakes too high for a true reconciliation. The monarchy, after all, is an institution built on image, tradition, and control. Harry's willingness to challenge those foundations has made him both a symbol of change and a cautionary tale. As the world watches, one thing is clear: the story of Prince Harry and the royal family is far from over. It is a story of love and loss, of tradition and transformation, of family ties strained to the breaking point. It is a reminder that even in the most gilded of cages, the desire for freedom, understanding, and belonging can never be fully silenced. In the end, whether Harry and the royals can find common ground remains an open question. What is certain is that their journey has already changed the monarchy and the way we see it forever.